going on? Happy Sunday. Happy March 9th. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, it's King Slugger Duggan on the Lethal Truth, where the truth shall set you free. Talking about mentally, or sometimes it could be physically, depending on your situation or where you at. I'm gonna wait for some more people to tune in before I begin. I know it's a little slow. It's Sunday. I was actually supposed to be on here at noon. I just woke up like 11:59. I said, nah. I mean 11:51. I was like, nah, let me give it an extra hour before I start tuning in. You know what I'm saying? So, you're definitely gonna be talking about Biggie, if anybody want to join me on this podcast, they could do so. Hold on, let me see something. Can y'all hear me out there? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Text me, let me know y'all can hear me. Okay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button when you come in. Please hit that subscribe button when you come in. Let me give it a few. Here for the knowledge. What's up, man? Here for the knowledge. What's going on? I'm about to start in a few. I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes. So how y'all feel about the weather this week? The weather's gonna be, whew, man, it's gonna be like 60, 59 tomorrow or 56. I think around Wednesday or Thursday, it's supposed to be like 61. Man, you know how it is in New York City when it's like 60 something. The female's gonna be dressed in half naked like it's summertime. They ain't gonna they gonna enjoy that one day. I ain't knocking on those shoes. It'll feel good for the fellas to take that hot and big coat off or jacket off and just walk around in a nice sweater or something. I know I would love to. This cold been kicking my ass lately. All right, give it one more minute. John Banks, what's going on? I'm not rushing the weather yet. I'm not rushing the weather not either, but you know, that weather's coming. About to be in spring in the next what, 2 weeks? Yeah, about 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks we're gonna be in spring. So, the weather's gonna definitely start cracking, but that don't mean that we out of winter. Like we still gonna be hitting those 40s and those 50s at night. Maybe in the daytime, it'd be, more like in the 50s and the lower 50s. But once that nighttime come in, it's gonna be coat season at night. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let me get right into it. Let me see. It's still time to make more money till summer. When summer comes, I'll be ready to play. Yeah, I hear that a lot lately. A lot of people are saying, right now I'm gonna make up for last summer or this summer. I'm stacking up my money. All the bike heads, they stacking up their money to fix up their bike to look good in the summertime. Well, not the dirt bikes. You ain't really gotta worry about it. You ain't gotta look fly on them. They just joyride and crash their dirt bikes wherever they go. Cause they just pretty much joyride. I ain't knocking it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't knocking it. So, everybody getting prepared for the summer. Am I getting prepared? To be honest, I don't really. I'm not really. Well, you can say in a way I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really focused on trying to show out this summer. I'm really not. I just want to enjoy life. That's it. I don't really have nothing major planned for the summer as of yet. I do have some things I want to do, but actually plan now, because sometimes when you plan stuff and you try to save money to do what you're gonna do, there's always something that's coming in between. Because when we plan our plans, we never plan the distraction that goes in between the plans. So we think our plan's gonna be perfect, and then next, whatever we save it, we gotta spend it on whatever else. But all right, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. So today's March 9th. Um, Well, next summer is my summer. I have a lot of bills and other things. I'll wait till next summer with my vacation. I think maybe next summer will probably be my thing too. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this summer it might work, you know. But definitely next year, I should be hearing a lot of good news, you know. So let's get right into it. You know, today's March 9th. Um, you know, this is the day Biggie passed. I really don't really dwell on the dead like that when it comes to their anniversary. I just let things go the way it go because you know we supposed to be celebrating life and not celebrating death. You know, but I actually brought this up because every year since Biggie passed, I always see this particular day. Everybody wants to celebrate his life that he had, the inspiration or the motivation that he brought to hip hop and motivated others. You know, some say he changed the face of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I think he kind of did in a way, you know. And so I figured that I would talk about it because I think it's just more to the Biggie story that beats the eye on March 9th. You know what I'm saying? Because he died what March 9th, 1997. Um, and I believe Pac died in 96. That year, 96. Well, not March, but in 96, if I'm correct. Um, so I want to get right into it. You know, it's strange how hip hop changed, right? When Big got involved. Prior to him coming into hip hop and early, I would say mid 80s, it was quite different. It was quite a revolutionary era. You know what I'm saying? Because New York City wasn't packed with gangbanging. That was a West Coast thing. As a matter of fact, far as we concerned in New York, that was always a West Coast thing. We didn't really look at Chicago because we didn't know about that type of culture. Every state had a different culture. Hey, Monica, what's up? Good afternoon. We lost the hour of sleep. I know how that feel because I was supposed to be on here at noon. I got up at 11:51 and I mean 11:51 and I was just like, this is not happening at noon. You know what I'm saying? Gotta wash my face. I gotta get the sleepiness out of my face and the eyes, you know. So I understand. So like I was saying, um in mid 80s, hip hop was quite different. We didn't know about gang banging. It was more of a righteous culture on the East Coast because during the 60s and 70s, New York City was more of a revolutionary period. You know, you had the Nation of Gods and Herbs, you had African Bombada with the Zulu clan, then you had like the street gangs where you seen the movie Warriors. That's East Coast thing. Although that's a form of gang banging, it was quite different. You know, we didn't bang over colors. We mostly banged over territory. You know what I'm saying? That we claimed we ran. You know, we was young. We was young, you know, uh 15, 14, 16, 18. You know, so it was a different type of era. We was more cultural. You know, we didn't really promote violence in our music, even though we did. Once we got into hip hop and hip hop came about, we didn't really start off the gang banging, and we was pretty much talking about culture stuff and uplifting one another. You know, so once 86 came and 85, 86, hip hop took a real heavy turn because it really got really cultured out. You know what I'm saying? You had X Clan, you had Poor Righteous Teacher, you had Eric B. and Rakim. You had a lot of rappers that was part of the Nation of Gods and Earths that came into hip hop, like Brand Nubian, who you got Lord Jamal right now, everybody flaming on. I mean, he's out of pocket right now. I don't know what he be talking about, but I know that when Brand Nubian came out, they was really talking about cultural stuff and uplifting the black community. You know, you rarely hear that we was calling each other niggas in hip hop. KRS-One was a trailblazer at that time. So you already know how he is. I ain't really got to talk about him. So we was more militant. Public Enemy came out. Enough said. I don't even got to talk about them. You know, so you know, Do the Right Thing. That movie it influenced with hip hop in that movie. So a lot of things, like I said, was more cultural. You know what I'm saying? We started wearing African medallions. We started wearing kufis and fads on the religious aspect. Although it was still mostly the crack era. You know what I'm saying? East New York was still considered homicide central. So Brooklyn was still a little crazy, but not in music. There was no negative influence that was coming out of music on the East Coast. Well, no, I gotta correct myself. I gotta rectify that. You had a brother named Schoolie D that was out of Philly. He was the first one that brought gangster rap to the East Coast or to hip hop, period. Then 86, 87, NWA came. Now, around this time, like I said, we were so cultured out. I think we was a threat. Can you imagine coming to the black community as a cop? You're white, never really been to the black community like that, and now you're hired to work in the black community, and it seemed like you stepped into a whole Black Panther community. You know what I'm saying? They was pretty much scared because we was pretty much, unified on as far as in the music term, and we was influencing the streets with the cultural thing. Although we did have some that was still running the streets and selling drugs, killing people, doing whatever they was doing, but we wasn't really promoting that in hip hop. The only thing we was promoting from hip hop was from the street was the dress code because the rappers wanted to look like the drug dealers because at that time hip hop wasn't getting no money. These rappers wasn't walking around with millions of dollars. They was walking around with big road chains that they spent about $500 for, and it looked like they spent $3,000 for it. They had these big rings. It looked like they had a lot of money, but they wasn't. They didn't really have a lot of money. The drug dealers had all the money and the fashion and the females. The rappers just wanted to be like them. So now it started to show that the streets was influencing hip hop instead of the other way around now. Now the rappers wanted to be like the drug dealers, right? So NWA came out with fuck the police and bitches ain't shit and all that other stuff. And it just took society for a while stone because we didn't never experience that type of language and hip hop on the East Coast. We was like, yo, what the hell was this? And I gravitated to it because I never heard of nothing like that. I didn't really know that it was detrimental to my people. I was playing it in my household, and my mom's and them was like, turn that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Because they were talking about sucking dick, and I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I was just enjoying the music, but I didn't know the influence in the words and the power of the words. You know what I'm saying? So that started to change society. West Coast really started to change East Coast. Now we was playing that more than we was playing East Coast music. No, real talk to the point where they had to pass I won't say a law, but they passed like a silent law, and they was advocating in the news media that we shouldn't play fuck the police, and if you play fuck the police, you can get arrested for disturbing the peace because back then we had the boom box, the radios. So we was outside playing it and we was blasting that. So imagine the police walking around and we like, fuck the police. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't like that. You know what I mean? So it was changing. Hip hop was changing the face of society and the black community slowly with NWA. They was advocating this music. Now it's strange because when you get signed, you definitely have to perform your music or the A&Rs or whoever's in charge gets your tape on their table and they listen to it. And the ones at that time who started to take control of hip hop was white folks. It wasn't us. Actually, it really was never us. We took hip hop and we enjoyed it in the parties in the Bronx. That's how it started in the Bronx, and it started in the house parties. You find a vacant apartment or abandoned building, and what we used to do is have our extension cords going through one building to another or to apartment, and that's how you hooked up. That's how you hooked up your music in the house party. You saw it in, have you ever seen Crush Groove, the movie? Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Me, hey, what's up? What's going on? Happy Sunday. So people would play the house party and they'll get on the mic and they would this rhyme and it was just for fun. And then they started to go to the clubs and they started to rap. And then now white folks got interested because we started making money in the clubs. You wanted to hit a certain MC, everybody knew around the way, you paid to come into the party. Matter of fact, they didn't even have an MC. As long as you knew it was a house party, popping, it was like $5 to come in. And you paid your $5 and you came in there, especially if you heard it was something big going on. Now you had like the Roxy, you had these big clubs going on. So they was really making money with these with hip hop. So white folks got involved. So they started to take over hip hop. They started to hire us. Those were the days. Yeah, man, those were the days because, you know, I mean, you had your fights, back then you probably hear once in a while somebody would get shot because back then, I mean, the only people that had heavy guns like that was the drug dealers. Guns wasn't just running the streets like it is now. It was hard to get a gun back then. The only way you probably would get it was from an adult that was running the streets. And back then, the adults, oh, they wasn't teaching us much. They wasn't trying to give you no gun to run the street. Like, sure, they get out of here. Now these dudes are selling 13-year-old gun with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So these white folks, they got involved in hip hop and they took hip hop and they realized they could capitalize off it because that's what they do with us. So anytime they see us and they see our opportunity to capitalize that we're not taking advantage of, they're gonna do it. So that's what they did. They said, "Yo, let's set something up." They said Def Jam, Russell Simmons like the godfather of hip hop, but that's not true because Russell Simmons, when he yeah, stop, that's my bully. um, so when Russell Simmons got into, excuse me, y'all, go over here, my shit still. So where was I? So when Russell Simmons got involved in hip hop, he didn't sign Ron DMC. He didn't have a record label at the time. Matter of fact, he had a little production company, but it was more, I think your bully want to come on live too. Nah, shit, because I got a Shih Tzu. So, she always playing with the Shih Tzu. So I got it in here because yeah, I got a Shih Tzu was since like 12 years old. Yeah, old man. And I got the bully that's like 12 weeks right now. So she's still a puppy. She still like to play. So she's in a cage right now because she come out the cage, her energy is like she be on like 10 mollies. So I gotta keep it a cage for now. But like I was saying, so Russell Simmons never really signed Ron DMC. You know what I'm saying? He was part of their producing and managing and producing at that time. Not really, I'm getting too deep into the how the birth of the hip hop, but it's very important because I want to see, I want to show you how things took a turn when it came to the music, because it's not just about Biggie today. You know what I'm saying? I'm generalizing. Although I'm talk about Biggie because this is the day he died. This is the day they engineered his death. This is the day they promoted his death. You understand what I'm saying? To make money. This is the day that they caused for him to be killed. This is the day they orchestrated, not the day, but this is around the era or the generation they orchestrated Tupac to get murdered. That's why I'm talking about this today. I ain't just talking about the birth of Biggie because I don't know Biggie. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, so I'm gonna fast forward. So around yeah, I know those are some expensive dogs. I know. I know, man. I'm trying to breed the bully with a pit bull right now so I can have a double XL because they both bigger than a bully. XL is bigger than a bully in a pit. You know what I'm saying? So let me get right into it. So fast forward. It's 93. Let's say it's 93, early 93. Actually, no, I would say around 92. 92, early 93, an album dropped, right? This album was called Illmatic. And when Illmatic dropped, it was different. It was more It was more street. It was more about guns. It was more about drugs. Although Nas still had some science and some knowledge in his music because he came from the same era I came from at that time. He was still hearing the righteous stuff being talked about. So this is what influenced him speaking cultural stuff or righteous stuff or stuff with knowledge in his raps to enlighten us, although he was talking about street stuff because that's where he comes from. He comes from the environment we come from, what is the product of our environment, although we have a product of our choices. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of changed the streets a little different because we was more listening to little street music, but it wasn't that much violent. Now, around this time, NWA was fading. It was fading from New York City because West Coast culture is different from East Coast culture. Period. Even right now, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't too much gravitating to too much of that balance on the music and playing it like that. Because most of the time we like to dance. That was our thing back then. We always came up with dance music. NWA didn't have dance music. You know what I'm saying? So we couldn't play that so much. So anyway, like I said, Nas came out and didn't really sell, of course, because hip hop wasn't big around that time, but we were still listening to the old music. We were still listening to LL Cool J, who never used profanity, KRS-One who never used profanity. See, this is what we was coming up with. That's why I said our mindset wasn't like NWA. So something happened in 1993. I'm assuming that once these record labels got a stronghold of hip hop around this time, they started to promote the violence more heavy in the music because NWA became the trailblazers of black destruction through music in the black community. Although they didn't really see it like that because what they was talking about was already going on in their community with the drive-bys, because Bloods and Crips in the 80s was bonkers. It wasn't like that. I mean, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they was really killing each other for territory and colors. You had a different color, you was really getting killed. They was advertising to the point that they promoted it into the movie Colors. Who Ice-T was, I would say, he had the theme song in the movie Colors because he was also promoting gangster rap at the time, because that's what they called it, gangster rap. It was him and NWA. They were starting to get big because on the West Coast, it was nothing mostly but gangster rap coming out of there. Anytime you heard a rapper coming out of the West Coast, it was on fucker shit. You know what I'm saying? We were still trying to keep profanity more out of the music, but we started seeing that the enemy was financing this violence through music. So it was kind of hard to tell a 19-year-old kid who was going to get a record deal that he couldn't curse. Um, he couldn't say this, he couldn't say that. But yet you got these other rappers over here saying this and saying that, but you can say it, but you got to get a different type of money. You can say it if that's what you want, but you can't rap all this other righteous stuff. You got to rap that. We give you more money. You got to change your whole outfit. You got to wear the jewelry. You got to look like a drug dealer. And that's what happened. So around 93, a group came out called MOP. First, it was Black Moon. A little street stuff, Buckshot Shorty, little street stuff. It was kind of cool. And then MOP came out. MOP, Mass Shout Posse from Brownsville. They came out with How About Some Hardcore? Let me tell you something. Biggie was starting to come out around this time, but he wasn't doing it. He was doing a little underground stuff. When MOP came out with How About Some Hardcore, it changed New York City forever. It became mostly a be on point era because we was still in the crack era a little bit. Well, we was waning out of it, you know, but it was still crazy. So when How About Some Hardcore came out and East New York was still homicide central, the murder capital of the city of New York City, it was crazy. It was drive-bys and killings like crazy because everybody was just listening to that How About Some Hardcore. We like it raw. It was just straight gangster music. And from that point on, hip hop changed. So Biggie came out, party and bullshit. It was all right. It was okay. But then I disappeared for a minute. Let's just say that I went on vacation. So as I'm sitting on my vacation, I heard this song called Juicy. I was like, yo, this is different right here. You know what I'm saying? But it was more of an East Coast vibe. It was a party vibe. It was a happy vibe. Although Biggie said he didn't like the song because at that time, like I said, MOP came out, Smooth the Hustler. It was starting to turn into street music in New York City. It was Boosie talking about guns and violence straight up because this is what these labels are promoting these young black men to rap about. Now, Biggie came out with Juicy. It was a hit. Everybody loved it. We heard Flavor in Your Ear before that. It was cool. Still No Violence. Then Who Shot You came out. When Who Shot You came out, Pac, of course, was on the scene. And we already know the story that Pac believed that Big set him up at Quad Studio. I don't know. I wasn't there. I was on my vacation. But I know certain people that was there. You know, we heard different types of stories. Pac was going to do a song with Little Sean. You know, Biggie was already there doing a Quad School because around that time in New York City, Quad School Studios, every rapper was going there in New York City. So if you was a rapper and you was going to Quad Studios to make a track, you'd have ran into like three, four different rappers there. As a matter of fact, the same day that Pac got hit, DMX was in the studio, but he didn't know them. He was already doing his own thing before we even heard of him. Check that out. He was there. So Pac gets shot, and it's real crazy because it seemed like when Pac got shot, Pac had a lot of influence, right? He had a lot of influence when it came to the street thing because, like I said, New York City was more of a cultural thing. So when we found out that his mother was a Black Panther, his family came from Black Panthers, we kind of gravitated to him because the things that he rapped about, we still came from that era, we still came from that generation. Although we were still doing wickedness, you know what I'm saying? But we still had a background that we were still attached to our culture when it came to righteousness. So we was feeling but Pac took it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's real crazy. To stop real quick. When it came to Biggie, it's funny how these Caucasians, right, uh, transform Biggie into a fat black, ugly as however lover, right? Because Pump said to when they brought Biggie to him, you know, Biggie wasn't fly. What you saw in the movie, Biggie wasn't like that in the movie. He wasn't moving work like that. He wasn't no big drug dealer. My aunt lived on this block. I used to go spend the nights, and we're around the same age. I never heard of no fat dude moving no weight on the block. You know what I'm saying? Although I wasn't hanging out like that, I used to stay in front of the building, but I wouldn't know if I start seeing Benzes and BMs coming up and down Fulton and St. James. I wasn't seeing none of that. Not only that, when Big first came out and he started taking pictures, let's keep it real. I'm not shitting on him. I'm coming to something. We seen a dusty black fat dude in all these pictures. We didn't see no fly dude that was popping champagne and he had fleets to cars and beautiful women. We saw what his baby mother first looked like. Not saying she's ugly, but we all know that she's not too much attractive. The same. Because when you got money, you're gonna attract all types of prettiness, even if you're ugly. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say now is that they took Biggie and they made him into something that we gravitated, something that we wanted. So we was fooled to think that he was actually doing all of that in the street. That he wasn't. And this is something that we love. This is something that we glorify. So they said, yo, get him fly, talk about champagne, talking about getting money, getting bricks, and all of this. And he started rapping this. So he started to change the face of rap in New York City where now everybody wanted to rap like that. Keep it real. Nobody was talking about no Versace. I didn't even know how to spell that. Armani and all of that. So I was like, what? What? Roll with the Lexus and the Bex. What Lexus? We grew up with Nissan Maximas and BMWs and Benz. You barely saw Rolls Royce in the hood. So I was like, what is he talking about? Lexus. No, excuse me. I seen the Lexus. No, that's wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. But every rap was pretty much materialistic. Was talking about Lexus and everything. And we were just like, man, what the hell is he talking about now? Here for the knowledge said, true, they doing that now with everyone. Exactly. That's why I'm coming to something. That's why I choose this day, brother, to talk about this. So when Biggie started rapping that, they started getting this word to dress him like that from the people in the higher ups, the people that hired Diddy. Meaning Diddy did not actually came up with the money to start Bad Boy. They saw him as a cash cow for what he did to Uptown Records and how, as an A&R, he started to help dress Mary and them. They said, let's get him, put him in position, gave him the money to start Bad Boy, which he would have to pay back. And he was not a parent company. He had to go through Interscope, and from Interscope, he had to go through Universal Records. So Universal get paid, then Interscope, then him. You see how that go? So whatever they said that they wanted done, he would have to do. And they dressed Biggie up to the point. Now we wanted to look like Biggie. We wanted to clean shirts. We wanted to talk about guns and all in the car. Then you had Junior Mile. So he changed the face of hip hop to the point that we didn't even want to rap no positive stuff no more. We didn't want to rap fight the power. We was done with that. We was talking about Lexus. We was talking about the Benzes. We was talking about the Rolexes. We was talking about the Mansions. And then we was being brainwashed by his videos saying he went from ashy to nasty to classy. You know what I'm saying? So although we was like that in the street, we wanted to be like Big. So he was influencing us and motivating us to do that, which means what? We had to hit the streets harder. You see what I'm saying? So now him and Pac is going at it. They see the opportunity, right? Because see, when KRS-One and MC Shan, Bronx and Queens rappers was going at it, they was trying to make it a violent thing. The press. They was trying to say that it was a Bronx versus Queens thing, and you come to a party, y'all couldn't get along, and but people was like, "What are you talking about? That's between KRS-One and MC Shan. We don't got nothing to do with that." So they couldn't influence us on the East Coast to start going at each other in the boroughs. I mean, the most you saw a borough war is if you went to jail because we didn't have gangs like that. There was no Bloods and Crips in the streets like that at that time in the early 90s and all that. So if you went to jail, wherever you was from, that's what part of the section you was from, Bronx, Queens, and that's how you got the borough wars. You ain't have no gang stuff. The gang stuff stopped the borough wars, to be honest. So when they dressed him up and got him on fly, in the meantime, they was working on Pac. You know, they trapped him up. You know, they wanted to get rid of him because he was talking some righteous stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you heard Me Against the World. Like that album right there, that is totally a opposite of Machiavelli and All Eyes on Me. That whole album is conscious. Don't get me wrong, he has some street stuff on there, but most of it is conscious. Prior to that, his albums is all conscious, powerful music. Brenda Got a Baby. Like, who actually making songs like that? Talking about a young woman that threw her baby away. He made some good songs. Um, I Get Around. Yeah, he really has some real good songs, right? So they saw the opportunity to stop that type of conscious music. So here comes Suge Knight. Suge Knight is being sent by Interscope. The Jews. Go get him. They worked out a deal. Pac came home and appealed bail for 1.5 million for rape. Never heard of that before. But he did. No, I just never heard of it. Around that time, it was just shocking that somebody would get sentenced and then go upstate and then work on an appeal bail and then get let out from up north. Like, I mean, Pac was deep, but he wasn't strong and powerful to make that happen. Somehow Suge Knight, who was in bed with the Caucasians, the Jews, made that happen. He came over. Now, prior to the whole time of you hearing him being locked up, you wasn't really hearing too much of him saying, Biggie set me up. You heard him saying, y'all got robbed by some Brooklyn street dudes, but you never really heard him saying, Biggie set me up until he got released. Because prior to that, he was in jail. He was talking some super conscious stuff. Remember, he had his hair growing back. You know what I'm saying? He started talking about he ain't a thug no more. When he come home, he talking about nothing but positive stuff that he grew up with. He was getting ready to talk about starting a revolutionary in music. Them white folks said, "Oh yeah, we got something for you." Pop was home. Next thing you know, Biggie set me up. Now he's up there in the interviews telling all the FBI agents and the police on the streets that's listening and reading these magazines. He's in interviews on the microphone being recorded, letting the police know and the public know and the feds know that this man, Biggie Smalls, set me up, Christopher Wallace and Puff, Sean Diddy Combs. What do you call that? I'm not shitting on the dad. I'm just trying to show you where this is leading to. Because back then we was already calling him a snitch for saying all of that. Although we already know that Big was there, but we don't know if he set him up, but we know he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. We know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? So when he came home, he was already in the West Coast starting a whole bunch of garbage up, starting that talking about he's a West Side now. He's from the West Coast, and meanwhile, Biggie's out here. Now Puffy's telling Biggie, listen, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing because they're looking at us, the police looking at us, they're waiting for you to say something. But people was around Big urging him to say something. Meanwhile, while he's not saying nothing, the media is out there saying Tupac and Biggie got beef. It's in all the papers. Tupac and Biggie got beef. Then it became Bad Boy and Death Row got beef. I don't even know how because Suge Knight didn't really know Puffy like that. And people that were signed on Bad Boy didn't know nobody from Death Row like that. They didn't know them like that. They didn't even do no features together. So I didn't even know how it became a label beef. You know what I'm saying? But the media made it like that. The radios made it like that because those who controlled the radio were Jews. And they was telling them to what to say. Like, for example, they had Ed Level from Power 105. When Power 105 started, they had them beefing with Hot 97 for ratings. These are disc jockeys. They had them arguing on live and disrespecting each other like they was battle rappers. And Ed Lover said, you know what was made us stop? He said one time we went out to eat and we saw the owners of Hot 97 and Power 105 having dinner together. You starting all this beef between us, so you know it can go left, but you out here having dinner together because it was all for their ratings. It's all about money. They don't care. We are cash cow. Let the niggas argue and build the ratings for us. And we fell right into it because we getting paid. And we're caught up in this celebrity limelight. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, please. You know what I'm saying? So one day, Big gets on Hot 97 because Dog Pound and Snoop Dogg is in Red Hook doing a video, New York, New York. And pretty much New York, New York, big city of dreams. Everything in New York ain't what it seemed, which is goddamn true, right? But in the video, they made it show that they were smashing New York City buildings, right? Which I don't give a damn. We don't own that. We would destroy the whole New York City for all I care and LA with it. But we're not thinking like that. They actually thinking the media making us think that we own New York City. Like we're in New York City. This is our please. You know what I'm saying? We know that's a lie, but this is our mindset. We think that this is our home and we're going to protect it by any means necessary. So the Biggie gets on High 97 and he's like, yo, I can't believe that Death Row is out here doing a video dissing New York. Now, to be honest, the song, if you really listen to it, they really not dissing New York. It's just saying it's not what it seems. You know what I'm saying? So, but I guess by them crushing the buildings, it made it seem like it was a symbolism, it was symbolic to destroying the city that which we come from. So Big got on High 97 and said, damn, I can't believe that they're out there and dudes just letting them do the video like that because he don't really know what's going on. He wasn't there. He just heard from the grapevine. That's what he said. Yo, I got a call. So when we heard it, because back then we didn't have cell phones. I mean, we did have cell phones, but we had those big cell phones like you charge by the minute, whether you receive calls. No, back then, if you made calls, you pay. So you'll call and say, yo, call me back, and you hang up, and somebody call you, you get free calls. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have cell phones like that. So everything was just radio for us. So when we heard that, that same day, some brothers ran up to Snoop Dogg and them trailer. Now, first and foremost, you having this in Brooklyn. You're doing this video in Brooklyn, and you're doing this video in Red Hook or near Red Hook Projects. And anybody know or been around Red Hook Projects, you know that's the only projects that has more buildings than any projects in New York City. That project has 99 buildings, and it's one way in and one way out. Straight up. One way in, one way out. I would never like going into those projects. No. If I'm Brooklyn, I would not like going into some project. I don't even want to go in no project. I'll go to the store around there, but I don't want to go in there because it's one way in, one way out. Can't go nowhere. And so They shot the trailer up, right? They shot the trailer up. They didn't really want to kill nobody because you know how New York City is. We mostly on running up on somebody and we just let them have it. We wasn't doing drive-bys. That's a West Coast thing. So if they really wanted to get at them, they could have just kicked in that door and let them have it inside and just be gone. You ain't catching them once they get in them projects. There's 99 buildings. You ain't catching them. You know what I'm saying? But what they did, they just shot up the trailer and they ran and they left. So it ended the video. They went back home, right? The Crips, the gangbangers, right? They went back home. And I say that because I'm sure they came out deep. But you know, when you're in front of the limelight, you're in the music, people want to claim that they're this and they're that, but they're really not that. They just have their entourage that makes them look powerful and strong. So these rappers that called themselves Crips, they went back to the West Coast. Of course, Tupac went crazy on the radio and he blamed Biggie for this. Like I don't even understand how he blamed Biggie for it, although Biggie said it on the radio what they was doing. But it eventually, if them brothers would have saw them out there doing that, they was gonna let that trailer have it regardless. You know what I'm saying? You coming in Brooklyn, my man. At that time, we called it Brooknam, aka Vietnam. You wasn't coming in here this in New York or Brooklyn making a rap video and we knew about it and you was just gonna be easy like that. Pop knew that. He from New York, he knows that. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted to put it on Big, 'cause Big made that statement. So what happens now, as soon as that happened, here come the media. Now it was no longer Bad Boy versus Death Row. Now it was the East Coast versus the West Coast. We like, how the hell that happened? Because see, they making money. The Jews own the media. The more they could put that crap out, it's like on YouTube when you go through these thumbnails, they gas you up with the caption to make you hit it so you can look at the video. And then when you look at the video, it has nothing to do with the caption. It's all about views. Well, for some. So this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to sell publication. They wanted the radio ratings to go up. So when the media ran with it, East Coast versus West, it was in every newspaper. It was in every newspaper. Then to the point that all the radio stations started talking about it. Wendy Williams had 107 WBLS. That was more of a an R&B station. Although she had her talk show with Charlamagne the God back then, it was about what 3 hours. Then she just talked about most of the numbers. Her platform wasn't based on hip hop like that. After she got kicked out of Hot 97, but once that happened, man, she ran with it, bro. She ran with it. She ran that thing to the ground. She was like, "Oh my God, Tupac!" Everything was Tupac and Biggie and Bad Boy. That was it. To the point it got so bad. The press made it so bad that other rappers couldn't even get no pub. They couldn't even get no pub. Once Biggie music dropped, that's all you was hearing. Pop drop from Death Row, that's all you was hearing. You will hear different rappers, but you didn't hear them like that. Like Jay-Z, you heard a little chirp. You didn't hear Jay-Z like that. Even the only time, matter of fact, we even paid attention to a little bit, I mean a little bit to Jay-Z, is when he was on Brooklyn Finance. Let's keep it real. Jay-Z was not cracking like that. Reasonable Doubt was not cracking like that. Matter of fact, we wasn't even really playing it like that. The only time we played it is when we heard Biggie on it. We didn't pay attention to Hove like that. Deep, of course, they had a stronghold. They came out with Nas, you know. So the whole Tupac thing they got involved in with, you know what I mean, because they was this in New York, Death Row. You know what I mean? So the press, they ran with this. They ran with this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of rappers didn't get involved in it. So if you did a song with Biggie, Pac will come at you because Pac had people in their ears. Let's keep it real here. Pac was a follower. It's nothing wrong with being a follower. I was a follower. You was a follower. We all have to be a followers before we become leaders, so people could follow us. You know what I'm saying? So Pac had people in his ear to the point he started reading Machiavelli in jail and came. Excuse me, Machiavelli, Niccolo Machiavelli, the book called um shoot. I would say it'll be called, I think it's The Art of War. If not, it's just called Niccolo Machiavelli, and that's his name. On the front, he's like this, right? And he's kneeling down. The same way you saw Pac did the video, he's like this, right? And this is where Pac get it from. Pac said, that's the sign of war, right? Now, that's a very dangerous book because I read that book. Machiavelli is an opportunist who became powerful by manipulating and snaking the people that is close to him. And he died in that book. And if you follow him, you're gonna die in just like in that book. And that's what Pac did. He became an opportunist and he took the opportunity to come at people that had nothing to do with his beef. He came at Nas, had nothing to do with his beef because Nas was like number two. He was like the hottest, the second hottest rapper in New York City because it was only him and Biggie that was really going platinum. Then you had Mobb Deep, they was going gold. If you was going gold and going platinum, you was like a major figure in New York City. Jay-Z was not going, he was going wood. He was not, no, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna say two people made us know about him. Biggie and Foxy Brown. Ain't no nigga like the one I got. We ain't hear about no Jay-Z till Foxy got on that track. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So this is another reason why Jay-Z never said nothing back to Pop, because his weight wasn't up. His weight wasn't up. He did some sucker stuff and tried to diss him while he was dead. Heaven to hell, nigga, about it, had some answers for me. And even the East Coast rappers put him under fire behind that. He had to take it down. Like, how dare you diss the dead? This man was out here saying all this and that. You ain't say nothing. You was quiet. You ain't say you had Mobb Deep. Even Little Kim had to say something. You ain't say nothing. Now you want to be the king of New York? Nah, they don't go like that. That's why they can never get him that title. Can't go like that. You know what I'm saying? So the media, as I was saying, they was orchestrating this. So Biggie and Pac decided to do um an interview in the vibe. This was their first interview. Big is in the front. I think he had on blue denim, and back in the back hand was Puff like this with the shades off of blue denim. And they broke their silence and they pretty much said what it was. They ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah, they know who did it. They said it. Yeah, we know who did it. Just like he know who did it. I mean, you a gangster, you busting your gun as you claim, but yet you beefing with dudes on the East Coast and you all the way across the water. You supposed to be back in New York City because you from the coast. Y'all must see them. You claim you shot two police off duty, which you didn't know they was cops. Not saying I'm not taking that from them. I'm just trying to show you how they orchestrated these brothers to do something they really didn't really want to do. They didn't really want to. Pac there, I don't believe he really wanted to do that. I believe he was hurt. I believe um he was looking for help because he was spending all his money in legal fees. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that he helped put on a platform or perform with or broke bread with or broke a champagne bottle with, he called them just like Tory Lanez did. You heard Tory, free Tory, you heard what he said in his rap. Y'all called everybody. All my celebrity friends. They was hot. Oh, he was hot, just like Pop. All my celebrity friends. And what happened? I ain't get no phone call back. Luckily, Chris Brown sent him some bread for him to win his appeal to get ready to come home. I ain't say he won it, but it looks like he's coming home this year. But back to what I was saying. So Pop was going through the same thing. Like, damn, everybody's shitting on me. And it is, I gotta go these dudes all the way from the West Coast to come help me. And I'm from the East Coast. So they putting those all in his head. You smoking, you drinking, you got all these yes men around you. They just gave Pac like $1 million and change. He like, yo, this is my people. You understand, these dudes is 23 years old, 22 years old. To me, they're still babies. I'm 49. They're babies. They don't know nothing. They still kids at that age. I mean, they're adults, but they still have a young mindset. They still have a baby mindset. So these people are putting all this in their ear and pocket. He going crazy. So big, like I said, they say, oh, I had nothing to do with it. Huh? I don't know what's going on. Everybody's doing interviews, and it's funny because everybody started doing interviews about it except these two. They didn't they didn't meet up. I mean, Nas said he met up with Pac. Pac said he met up with Nas. They did it to beef. So I was like, why you couldn't meet up with Big? Like, is it that much of a thing? I guess because Nas was from Queens and Big was from Brooklyn, where Big should have knew about certain people like Jimmy Hinchman and Todd. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they did anything because you know what? I wasn't there. But we heard allegedly that they were involved. Are they locked up for it? No. They never got locked up for it. Was they questioned about it? Not that I know of. So I'm not gonna be up here talking about they did it, but we heard through the grapevine, through the streets that they had they hand in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Could be lies as far as I'm concerned. Or maybe they sent somebody. I don't know. But in New York, rappers was always getting robbed. That's the thing I never understood with some of these rappers, and they get mad that somebody has set them up because first of all, you walking around with all this jury, and you're walking around in the hood around people that's poor. What you think is gonna happen? What you think is gonna happen? If right now, if you had Rick Ross or anybody that's worth millions coming through the hood in Brooklyn or Manhattan, anywhere else with tons of jewelry and diamonds, and you ain't got no security, you just walking around with your man, one guy, what you think is gonna happen? I don't care where you from. You could be from Brooklyn and Brooklyn will rob you. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing different. You know what I'm saying? Pac just got careless and he thought that he was able to do that because he had his gun on him, of course. And he figured that he was safe. Nah, you ain't safe nowhere. But the media took this and they capitalized off of it. They capitalized off of this war. So when Pop got killed, no, prior to that, Pop getting killed, it got so hectic and crazy that they reached out, other people in hip hop, they reached out to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, like they did with 50 and Ja Rule. And they said, yo, man, you need to step in. This is getting too crazy now. You know what I'm saying? Because it came to the point where rappers that didn't have problems on the West Coast and vice versa, they couldn't come here. They had to lay their vocals down on their coast and mail it. No, real talk, it was really that serious. Even in the prison system, if you was on the island and you was from the West Coast, you had a problem. That's how they made it. A lot of people didn't know that. They only thought it was just a rap thing. Nah, this thing really hit the streets like that. It was really serious to the point that even when Big went out there, he got killed. He got murdered. And everybody told him when we all heard, like I said, first of all, Farrakhan got to they try to get him involved. They wanted to meet up. And Farrakhan reached out to Biggie. He reached out to Puffy, and they were supposed to meet up. He reached out to Pac. Pac said he was going to meet up and do a sit down, and then he promised Farrakhan that he would attend the Million Man March. He didn't attend the meeting. I'm assuming because Suge Knight or whoever was in his ear saying, fuck that bro black shit, bro, we making money. Because the controversy is making them millions. I mean, let's keep it real. Before the controversy, Pac was not selling no 5, 6 million records. Pac was barely going platinum. He was going platinum, but barely. And then when he went platinum, that was it. He was not going 2, 3, 4, 5 times platinum. It was the controversy that was causing his music to go 6, 7 times platinum. He had like 4, 5 disc records on one album. You know what I'm saying? But he had good material too. I'm not gonna say that it was just the disc records that carried the album. It was overall, but I would say what caused him to sell so much was the controversy. He was no longer Tupac. He was Machiavelli. He was really living that out. He wasn't talking that talk. No, don't get me wrong. He was talking a little righteous stuff, but most of the time you saw him, he was always on some gangster stuff and acting like he was really from that street. This is a guy who didn't have time to run the streets. He was mostly in school or he was moving. He went to college. He went to arts. This dude was so talented. He was the first rapper to be in movie. He was an actor and a rapper. He was the first one to actually pioneer it. Don't get me wrong. Ice was the first one to be in the movies, but Tupac was the first one to pioneer it to say, I am an actor. All these other dudes like LL, Fat Boys, with the Crush Group, Run DMC, they just had a movie. Pop became an actor. So this was a whole different Tupac. This became Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, um, the press was eating this up. They was pushing the magazines, Double XL, Source magazines. They was pushing all this controversy, pushing this war on, and it kept bubbling and bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. So Pac goes to Vegas, of course. He gets into a dispute with a brother from the South Side Crips who allegedly was it wasn't even allegedly, I can't even say that, was actually security for Bad Boy. Look at this. MOB, Mall Pyru Bloods, had beef on the streets on the West Coast with the Southside Crips. So somebody knew since the Mall Pyru was down with Suge Knight, we gonna get Southside Crips to protect us because we know they got beef. This shit was just getting nasty as it went on. So about two, and these two individuals, Biggie and Pop, they really wasn't trying to go at it like that because when street dudes really want to kill each other, they're not gonna rap about it. They're not gonna be in the interviews about it. They just gonna come and see you and lay you the hell down, or they gonna finance it and lay you the hell down. And when you get laid down, ain't no heat coming towards them because they ain't beefing with you online. They ain't beefing with you on music. They're not beefing with you on a microphone at a radio station. They're gonna keep it quiet. So this was all entertainment. And it seemed that it was good because, like I said, it was people on the outside that was benefiting all these DJs and yeah, the DJs was even going at it. The DJs was like, yo, play that because we had underground taste. The DJs was like, nah, we ain't playing that West Coast shit over here. They was hyping us up. We was like, yeah, fuck West Coast. I was down with it too because I was stupid in the head. You know what I'm saying? So Pot goes to Las Vegas and he gets word that a Southside Crip snatched one of the Mall Pyru death row chain at a mall somewhere in LA. So instead of Pop taking upon himself to say, I'm gonna let your goons do it because I'm the multi-millionaire around here, he felt the need to go and prove himself to his main people that I get busy because that's how I assume why he did what he did. He took it upon himself to walk up to that man and hook up on him, and then they all jumped him. Why did you need to hook off on him? This man didn't snatch your chain. This man is this man that snatched the chain, who he snatched it from is really not your man. That's Sugar the man. He was supposed to let that happen. But I guess Pac felt that his loyalty to Death Row, he was like, yo, I'm rolling with Death Row. That's what it is. And that's what happened. As I said, dudes that want to kill you, they not going to advertise it. They not going to get on the radio station about it. So this individual disappeared. And I'm assuming maybe he talked to a friend or two. I don't know if he pulled the trigger, even though he's dead right now. I'm not gonna put it on that man because I wasn't there to see the man pull the trigger. But his associates around said that he left, gathered up his peoples, and they waited for Pac and them to come out. And one of the dudes that is saying this is allegedly locked up right now for Tupac murder. And you would think this would go viral, right? Yeah, we finally found the killer. You've been talking about his death for over 20 something years. And now that this man just confessed to it, matter of fact, he was doing interviews on Vlad TV about, yeah, I was working with the CIA. And this ain't go viral. You know why? Because it wasn't making no money. That's why nobody talked about it. That's why nobody got on their podcast about it. That's why the news ain't run with it. Nobody really cares. Let's keep it real. Nobody really cares. We only start caring when it keeps being in our face. Every time we go on social media and it's our face, we got no choice to talk about it because we see it every day in our face now. But if we don't see it every day in our face, we're not going to talk about it, which means we don't really care about it. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? So when Pac got killed and allegedly the car sped off, the next day they said we're doing an investigation. They said it looked like it was, a showdown with some rival gang members and Crips. Because at first, if everybody's saying Puffy did it, Puffy did it. Look, the media. They were saying Puffy did it. Bad Boy had something to do with it. We was like, what? How that happen? In my head now, I'm like, how they find that out? It's been, the very next morning, Bad Boy, it was allegedly Bad Boy had something to do it. They started cooking up so many stories about Puff, called this person, Puff dropped $1 million bag. Exactly what they doing today with Puff. It's all about views. I don't care. By the time you really get the story, you don't really know what to believe. You know what I'm saying? So during that week, the media decided to put it on Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. It said we got a description. We got an eyewitness that said we got a black man with a bow tie on and a white shirt. You mean to tell me, and it was a red bow tie. You mean to tell me that a brother allegedly from the Nation of Islam, because they really didn't say Nation of Islam, but they put it out. All right, let me make it more clear for you and paint the picture more clear. Remember a few weeks back, I was talking about Malcolm X and how they made the movie in 1991, I believe 1992, and Oprah and all of them put their money together, and they was targeting Farrakhan because he was actually coming out into the woodworks like he was busting out on the scene. Now they couldn't hold him back, and they needed to shut him down. So when they made the movie Malcolm X, they made it seem like Farrakhan had something to do with his killing, and then they fake arrested his daughter, made it seem like his daughter was making a plot to kill him. Although she got to get through a whole army of people to get to Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying, I don't know how they got just hurt arrested, but they was painting a bad picture. So when that didn't work, they put this thing with Biggie, I mean with Pop on the Nation. They didn't say the Nation directly, but we all know anybody with a white shirt and a bow tie, the first person you thinking of is who? So they was trying to push that. And then they would say, do you believe it could have been somebody from Farrakhan's camp? They started doing this bull crap and throwing it in their ear. Now, who's going to do a drive-by with a bright-ass white shirt on, no mask with a bow tie? I mean, I've been around the Nation. They are not dumb. They are not. First of all, you ain't gonna even see them coming. You ain't gonna see a mask. You ain't gonna see nothing. And if you do see something, it's gonna be masked up. It's not gonna be in a bow tie and a shirt. You know why? Because they call that their uniform. So they're not gonna do no murder in a uniform. That's crazy. But they was hoping that we took that and ran with it and said it was the Nation that did it. But we don't know who did it. It could have been the Chris, could have been them. The dude, what's his name? The dude that's locked up for it now. Oh man, I forgot his name. Supposed to be, I believe, the cousin of the dude they allegedly Orlando. What's his name? Orlando something. They said allegedly killed Pac. I kind of forgot the names because you know why? The brother kept going on these social media platforms talking about how he was working with the CIA and how Puff paid him all this type of money to kill this dude. And I was like, why is he saying this? You testifying on Vlad TV and all these other social media platforms, and they come get him yet? I was like, nah, he got to be lying. But then eventually they did come get him. They took so long. I wonder why. Was he saying what he's saying? Was it true? How could somebody get killed in front of 1,000 people and make it off the street? You had 1,000 police out there. How? Know about no car chase, no nothing? That don't sound right. It sounded like another Malcolm X assassination. When Malcolm X was getting assassinated, you had about 30 cops in the next room. And they didn't come out until after the shooting started. I mean, stopped. Huh? Y'all got all guns on y'all waist and y'all got ankle guns too, because every cop is designated with an ankle gun. So you all of you, about 30 of you had two guns apiece. You should have been running up in there, but no, they wanted it to happen because they knew it was going to happen. So did they know Pop was going to get killed that day? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because it seems all crazy to me. And now they allegedly found his alleged killer who was a part of the shooting, and it's not viral. Nobody don't know nothing about it. This man is running around talking about he was working with the CIA and the feds to kill Tupac. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. And he didn't get arrested. He didn't get questioned. Nothing. Meanwhile, he was running around making all these damn videos about the whole situation. He was getting paid for it. And then now all of a sudden he's locked up. I guess they figure, yeah, you running your damn mouth too much. And got him quiet. Meanwhile, when he died, I mean, Pac died, everybody realized he didn't own nothing. Just like when Biggie got killed. But said, no, it's a little bit different with Big. With Big, he got killed out of retaliation. Um, he got killed because when Pac got killed, man, it hurt a lot of people from the West Coast. It hurt a lot of people from the East Coast too. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew Pac is from Bronx, man. He's born in the Bronx and raised in Harlem. But then he went out to Baltimore and all that. He not from out there in the West, you know? So a lot of people was devastated. So when Big got killed, I mean, when Big heard about it, Big was like, yo, man, yo, that's crazy. He was like, yo, damn, I wish we would have talked it out. He really felt genuine, like, yo, man. I know he felt a little hurt. I know he felt mad, like, yo, this dude is really coming at me like this. And he got people in his ear telling him, yo, don't say nothing. Don't retaliate. Don't say. Pop was just making it worse and worse. Him and Suge making it worse. Then they got their baby mothers to come out there. And then the thing with Faith, you know what I'm saying? And that had to have been a real hurting period for him with Faith because I'm gonna say allegedly we all believed it was true. Because when the claim first came out, she said, "Now that's a lie. I ain't never meet up with Pop. We just did a song and then I went home." And then a few weeks later, we start seeing pictures of her with Pun Pac outside the hotel, Pun Pac at the club. We like, you know what I'm saying? I thought you just did the song and went home. First of all, if you know that you and your husband, that maybe y'all not together again or whatever, but you're pregnant by her, y'all might not be together. But you know this is his arch enemy. This is his rival. This is deadly. I'm talking about this is not no rap beef. This is actually real street beef. And then you decide to go fly out to do a song with him. That's why she was looking suspect to everybody after that. She's still suspect. You know what I'm saying? So when Pop dropped that, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat woman. That had to hurt because now we started seeing all the pictures and all the claims. You know what I'm saying? So of course, you know, in the movie, you seen him going crazy. That probably happened in real life. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But when Big got killed and then he went out there, they told him, they said, yo, don't go out there, man. Like when I say it was tension, it was so much tension, especially after Pac got killed. Don't go out there. You got beef. It's not like he had beef in one section of LA compared to what was going on in society around that time. He had beef with the whole LA, just like Pac had beef with the whole New York. Real talk. Because we felt like you was a traitor. Get out of here. You sucking off West Coast and now you want to be a gangbanger. He was always wearing bandanas, but he constantly wearing red bandanas and shouting out MOB. We like, what? You a gangbanger now? You know what I'm saying? So Big got killed, man. I believe they set that up. People in power. They set that up for that man to get killed. They set that and Pop to get killed by just the things they was putting on the airwaves. Because they could have said, no, don't put that out. Because Shook doesn't have the really last say so. It's Universal and Interscope. It's the Jews. And they seen that, say going after the nigga, yeah, he gonna make us money. Tell Tupac put it out. And they put it out. Bet if he'd have said something like Michael Jackson, sue me, Jew me. Michael Jackson said, Jew me, and they went crazy at him. What? You said what? They made him take the whole song off and redo it again. Wow. So I know when they was putting his music together, they said, now you gotta come up with something a little harder. And he put him against Big. And you know, Big, he was doing his little slick talk too, because he couldn't really come out because Puff had him in a chokehold, don't respond. So he was saying little slick verses in there, you know what I'm saying? Well, Pop would catch it. You know what I mean? He would say slick verses where Nas would catch it, like kicking the door, waving the 4-4. Nas told us who you think that was kicking the door was for, but that's my heart. You still tripping on this jigger shit because Nas ain't team up with him because he was going at a whole coast, man. It wasn't just Pac. At that time, you had Ice Cube. He wanted to jump on the bandwagon and he wanted to talk about West Coast connection. And it really got that crazy. So Big got killed, man. It was so devastating. They told him, don't go out there. You have beef. And he still went out there. He still went to all these parties and like I know you want to promote the album, but no, you can't do it there because I guess they were trying to make him seem like, yo, look, you just got beef for Pac and Death Row. It ain't got nothing to do with the whole coast. Listen, I wasn't even a rapper, and I was on my vacation. And I knew it was about a whole coast. So how did he not know? I think he was just listening to people around him, and then on top of that, he goes to the party, chilling, and then he has his entourage. He had the same dudes that was around him, which is cool. But I think he should have had better security. Somebody told him, "Now you don't need that." Just like they told Pop, "You don't need that vest, man. Take that vest off, man. You good? You with us?" And you at war. There's no negotiation, ain't no peace. You keep your thing on you at all times. That's what 50 said. 50 said, "Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it get hot, but I keep it on, man." Because at that time, he was in hot water with some real street killers. Not no rappers. He wasn't wearing no vest for no image and gyro. He was really wearing it because he had beef with some real street dudes. He wasn't gonna make the same mistake Biggie and Pac made. And it's crazy. You see how they both died in the passenger, the passenger side, in the back seat. In the passenger side, they both got killed in the passenger side. I wouldn't have went on the passenger side, but maybe I would have. Wasn't thinking. You won't be thinking you partying, you having fun, you drinking. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they do in this rap thing. They put us against each other. They feel that battle. These rappers that's going against each other with this battle rap is making money. Not technically the URL battle rap league. It's like more fun and games and sports there. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I don't know why it's not that deadly because they really don't have no rules with their words in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? It's all entertainment. But whereas, and maybe that's the reason why it's not that much violent because everybody knows it's disrespect, but it's no holds barred in battle rap. So whatever I say, you got to deal with it. You already know that from the door. Whereas in the mainstream, it's a little bit different. They don't go by that. They feel like there's lines that shouldn't be crossed. You know what I'm saying? And they benefited off of that Biggie and Pop murder. Puffy benefited off of it to the point not only he wanted to make We Always Love Big Papa, but he made two. I'm Missing You with Faith, and he made the one with Lots. You already had one, but two was good because he's going to make money off of it. Biggie sold him his first rights because Biggie ran through his money. So Biggie signed his first rights over to Puff. That's what Biggie said. I don't know. That's what I read. Allegedly. Allegedly, that's what he said in the magazine. Because he ran through his money because they had him living this image of popping crystals. They wasn't teaching him to rap about real estate. While Puffy was running around owning this and that, Biggie was spending his money buying this and that. So we all find out later on, Pop don't own nothing. Biggie don't own nothing. The label own everything, which means the parent label own everything. The masters. So all the white boys is getting all the money off the dead. To the point Biggie mother and Pac mother had to take Death Row and all the associates to court. They'll tell you it's just Death Row or what's that dude, Harry O, or just Bad Boy. It was a whole lot of people that went to court because you got parent companies. All these is in a contract. So they all had to be taken to court. They was eating off of the dead. That's what they do. They build you up for controversy, hope you die, since they can't eat over you because eventually they're gonna lose you because they was losing Biggie. Biggie had signed he signed the record label with Rivera called Undies. At the same time he did Life After Death, he was starting his own record label where he was going to take Junior Mafia and Lil Kim and sign them there. He already was signed to Bad Boy, so he couldn't leave. But guess who else he signed? He signed Cameron because he found Cameron. So he was ready to make his own thing. They didn't like that. They didn't like that. So now here this Biggie that, and society and these record labels, society and record label owners, they see this too as entertainment, but also record labels see this as a time of profit. So they say, you know what? We're gonna keep the niggas going at each other. So they could always die and we benefit. Because they benefited off of Prince. Not saying Prince and them was on the streets, but all these celebrities that die, they eat all because they lose all their rights. They was eating off of Prince. They ate off of Whitney Houston. Angie Stone just passed away because she just found out just before she passed that she didn't even have her rights in her publishing. She's ready to go to court. And then she said they injected her with a needle that has some toxic in it, and she had toxics in her blood. She got sick and passed out. That's how she found out she was poisoned. And now she's dead. Come on now. This is not by accident. All of this is engineered. Look at all these rappers. They had these drill rappers come out, right? They had these drill rappers and they come out and they have no chill pill. They out there. Well, I thought, man, first of all, when 50 Cent and Ja Rule came out with their beef, right? Man, they ran with they was trying. Yeah, they was trying to get another Biggie and Tupac. They was trying. They was trying hard. But thanks to Fifth, he wasn't letting it go there. He had his bulletproof car. He had his bulletproof vest. You wasn't trying to get him to do that. You know what I'm saying? But there was some fights. There was some cuts and bruises and all that from his camp and from Murder Inc. camp. But they was trying it through the media again. They was trying. And you seen how much 50 sold. It was the same thing with Pop. Because see, that whole era, we was missing that whole beefing battle. After the Tupac and Biggie situation happened, a lot of people in hip hop grew up and was like, "Yo, this is going too far now. Now we lost Pac. Now we lost Big. Now this is going too far. I just want to be a rapper." That's when Snoop Dogg started came out. I just want to make records because it was going too far. Not saying he was suspect, but nobody wants to die over some words. This is why we escape from the streets because you dying from words in the streets. Now we got to get up on rap and die. Biggie mother said, "I thought I was saving my son from the streets." So I had no problems with D-Rod taking him to Puff because I thought my son was gonna make it. And look what happened. Hip hop took her son. Not the streets, hip hop. People that's from the streets that's coming into hip hop. People that's from the streets that's in around these entourages that's whispering in people's head to make them feel gangster. And that happens in gangbang because the softest dudes start gangbanging, but when they got the tough OGs around them that snap their fingers, these dudes think they're real muscle. Yeah, I get busy. I got 10 wolves behind me with guns. And then they be up on here on social media and they start throwing all these stuff up and they start rapping about, yeah, I'm gonna kill you, nigga. And I see it all on YouTube. I be like, yo, look at these dudes, man. The feds is screening hip hop. I mentioned that before. Right? They study our dances, our music, our words, our way and actions in order to control us and destroy us. And if we get too powerful, they're going to manipulate the situation so we can destroy ourselves. And they try to do that with 50 and Ja Rule. So the controversy really blew 50 out the water. But once everybody got accustomed to his ways and actions or tactics of dissing people, his record sales started to die because we got used to it. It wasn't exciting no more. He still makes good music. He never fell off. He never stopped selling. I'm not gonna lie to that. But there was no more sales from Get Rich or Die Trying. He went from 11 million down to 4 million and down because we got used to it. They couldn't capitalize off the controversy no more. Things was getting out of hand. So Farrakhan as well tried to reach out to them as well to try to dead the beat because he said, I didn't want another Tupac and Biggie situation happen because we seen what the press had done. Just like we saw what the press was doing in Ja Rule and 50. They did the same thing. The only thing is nobody got killed that we know of. Say that we know of. Because I'm pretty sure outside of that microphone, some street dudes definitely bumped heads because they're all from Queens. You know what I'm saying? So, and we all know they all have fights in the studios too. People got cut, people got stabbed, people got jumped, stomped out. You know what I'm saying? But God forbid nobody died. And they're trying to do that now. So after the 50 situation, they had to come better. They had to come better. And they started to get into this drill rap. They started manipulating the drill rappers. Because the drill rap is more of a younger generation than my generation. My generation is a little bit older now, where we're kind of knowledgeable to the contracts. You know what I'm saying? And what we can do and what we can't do. So they try to go after the more younger and more ignorant individuals that's running the streets. And now they created this genre called drill. To the point they up there actually talking about actual crimes. They are up there beefing about beefing to each other and beefing about each other for no apparent reason. Then some of them don't even know why they beefing. Y'all can't believe they actually up there on YouTube, wherever they're making their music, and they actually naming names of people they acting like they killed, or they naming the names of the people that their people's done killed. I'm like, what in the name of God? And they're actually saying their gang name out in the open. Yeah, blood gang this or whatever gang that. No, you see what happened to that brother with the 5-year-old child, little Ronnie G, I believe his name is. I mean, he's not the only one, but that I mean, that was like the last crazy incident, right? And at first I was like, okay, it got beef for whatever reason, right? But then I started to try to find out why they got beef. I try to put it together. I'm like, why did they have beef? And one of the killers, first of all, when they ran up on the brother, allegedly they said they was following the baby mother, right? Because a lot of people were saying the baby mother set him up. But they was really looking for this dude, Lil Ronnie. And they've been beefing on wax for 7 years. It's real interesting that everybody has the designated amount of time that they've been beefing. So which means they've been watching this whole garbage go on, right? So, and these dudes are real gangbangs. So this ain't about just music. This is some real stuff. And we've been hearing a whole lot of bang bangers in New York City been killing each other off of wax for no goddamn reason. So we already know that these, where is it? In Texas. This happened in Texas, right? This is a state that has the death penalty. This is a state that has capital murder, right? For a death penalty. Texas. So if you kill anything that's under 10 years old and under 5 years old, that is called capital murder. Now, these individuals is following this baby mother, right? And they saying she don't know she's being followed, but I seen an interview of her. She said she knew she was being followed, and she called Ronnie, was like, "Yo, I think I'm being followed." And of course, he's not there with her to see what's going on. And he's like, "Yo, don't worry about it. They ain't following you. You good?" He thinking it wasn't nothing, but it was. And of course, they followed her to the car wash, and they saw his car, and they knew he was there. They ran up to the car. I thought they just started blasting. No, these fools, they ran up to the car, the passenger side, where the daughter is there, where they can see the daughter, and just start letting loose. Doo, 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 doo. Now I'm hearing all of this. Doo, 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 doo. Hey. Now he jumps out of the driver's side and he runs across the car wash. He leaves his daughter. I don't know if he leaves her because he was just a spare no money. He just left her to be leaving her, or he just left her and figured that if I run, the bullets will follow me and save my daughter. You understand what I'm saying? So he just ran, and eventually the bullets caught him. And he died. And it's real funny. It's real funny because the cameras caught these dudes. The people knew who did it because they was up there talking about it on YouTube or Instagram, whatever these dumbass, excuse me, whatever social media these dudes be having. I think it's more they be on Instagram more, right? So they asked one of them before everything happened. They said, "Why you gotta be?" Look what he said. You heard the explanation? Why they had beef? I don't even. He ain't even say. He don't even know. He said, "Yo, he was just popping. That's all, man. Shit, you just stop popping, man." Now look at this other man. Uh, sis, okay, this other man. Why you got beef? He don't even know. Look, but you got to see his face. Look, look at his expression. Yo, he did like he said, "Man, I don't even know. They don't even know why they killed this 5-year-old girl. They don't even know because social media is promoting that and gassing them up, thinking they're doing something so they could get views. All of us that be on YouTube doing this, whoever on YouTube, they getting bigger views. They like this controversy. Today in society, nobody knows why they happy. You right. They don't even know. They don't even know why they have beef. Today, these dudes are joining the gang right now, and they don't even know why they got beef with the other gang. Yo, what happened? Yo, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, so and so, the homie got so and so and so and so, and they like, okay, that's beef. You don't even know this dude who they call the homie. You just jump right into a beef that can get you forever away from your family. And the media is promoting it even more in through the music. So I'm not trying to really come at the gangs because I was a part of that and I know how that goes. You join a gang and sometimes you like, yo, my loyalty's here. I don't care what the beef is. So I understand. But for a 5-year-old girl to get murdered and you don't even know why you murdered her, that's a damn shame. People like that, I don't promote, but you need to be executed. No, for real. You mean to tell me you ran up into a car and you didn't even see? You had to see that girl, but you figured you ain't give a fuck because you know you rough in the blood. Oh yeah, they bloods. I said, yo, I don't know what's going on, man. These dudes is just killing each other like crazy, and the media is helping it because they promote it. They say, right, if we say something on this platform, it can get a red flag and we'll be shut down, right? Right? What they call the community guidelines. So how these dudes are able to say everything they saying live and it stays up there? You think it's by accident? It's not by accident. They want us to kill each other. They setting us up. Let us start talking about killing white folks or something like that and start a black revolutionary and be online talking about it. Yo, let me show you something. Come on. Okay, that's probably my other phone. I got a video of a dude, right? He's in Alabama. He's weighing pounds of weed on TikTok. He's like this. Matter of fact, I don't even know if it's on TikTok because I found it on TikTok, but it could be from somewhere else. But I found it, right? It was on TikTok, but he was weighing it, he was talking it, then he was putting the pounds on top of his head. He was like, yeah, I'm selling it for this. Now I said, look at this idiot, right? While he's on live, within like 20 minutes, the feds kicked his door in. Boom! While he's live. While he's live. So that means this picks up anything. Well, they already do because they all have a partnership in all the social media. So they already know. That's why they went TikTok. So you be up here live where the feds have all ownership talking about crime, you idiot. That's like going to the police and having a conversation about the murders you committed in front of the cops in front of the desk. Idiot. I have to call you that because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that people is watching you. Idiot. I have to say it like that. It can't be that you can't be that ignorant. Ignorant means unaware. You cannot be that unaware to know the police ain't looking, especially in this day and time now, because we done heard so many people already got caught off of social media. So why you still doing it? Why you still doing it? You could say one thing about I could say about the mob, the one of the biggest rats of organized crime, but they keep their shit quiet. They ain't talking about no murders to other friends like that. Maybe they are, maybe they ain't. But if they are, they ain't talking about it around the people that's affiliated with them in their circle. They ain't talking about it to nobody out on the outside. They ain't on social media talking about they got beef with the Lucchese family. You just hear the gun smoke. And that's it. And the police will just be left there to figure it out, but not us. We go up there and we talk about all this bull crap that what we gonna do, but 9 out of 10, most of you rappers that's rapping, you gonna have somebody else do it, and the killing start. And then when the killing start, you get caught up in a Rico beef, or better yet, before you get that, you hear it on the airways and you feel good that your shit made the news, your shit made social media. And you probably tell some of your homies. And murder that has no statute of limitations. You could be 90 and get caught up for something you did when you was 20. So now one of your mans get caught up in a situation and he got an opportunity to get out for free. He give your ass up. Hey, yo, okay, check him out. He's on live talking about it right now. So I know they setting us up through social media. I know they letting us talk about killing each other on social media. As long as we're not talking about killing the white community or destroying their white economic structure to keep us at a disadvantage spot, then it's okay. Look, I had got it was something I read. I was trying to find. Remember when I was talking about the revolutionaries back then in the 60s and how COINTELPRO didn't want the rise of the Black Messiah? Well, I have a copy of the memo here, right? This is the memo, right? This is the memo from Agents of Repression. This is what the book where I was telling you about. You could get all the declassified files from JFK and King and Malcolm. And I was like, it's all blurted out. You can't really. That's why I said, when Trump said, I'm going to declassify the files. Oh, shut up. It was already declassified. And you can't read nothing. You know how I know? Why you haven't seen any paperwork yet? I rest my case. Now, it says, oh, man. Let me see. Prevent the coalition of a militant Black nationalist groups. In unity, there is strength, a truism that is no less valid for all its tritiness. As effective coalition of Black nationalist groups might be the first step toward a real Mau Mau in America, the beginning of a true Black revolution. Now, for some of you don't know what the Mau Mau's is, the Mau Mau's is a great empire. It was like the Zulu Empire, and they ran the world where they were at that time. I said they ran the world, not the city, the world. This is what they're afraid of you. You can't have no conscious music in it. Keep doing that drill stuff. This is that's how you talk. You got to keep these niggas doing this drill stuff. Yeah, but they gonna just give them whatever money they're gonna give. So what? Our brothers and sisters they printed. And you don't see it coming. Yo, I got a $2 million deal. Yo, I'm lit. No, they just want you to keep talking that shit you talking. So you could cause rift in your communities and other Black communities that claim probably what you claim or can influence what music influenced us back in the 90s about how about some hardcore, yeah, we like it raw. So if you repping some gang stuff, I may not be affiliated with you, but you repping some street gang stuff that I can relate to. So you rapping about, I throw it up, and I'm throwing it up. Just like that brother Whoopi, they know what they was doing. That song came out, all the bloods went crazy. That was Brains. That was the anthem. Yo, yeah, they criticized him. Yo, he ain't even Bloodhound. So what? That wasn't the whole point why they was trying to do it. Your beef about what he doing has nothing to do with what they trying to do. They don't care. Okay. Two, prevent the rise of a Messiah. Like I said, they didn't say a leader or nothing. They said Messiah. That's a biblical term. That means there's a Messiah that's supposed to be coming. Okay. Who would unify and electrify the militant Black nationalist movement? Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah. He is the mortar of the movement today. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad all aspire to this position. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age. See, they looking for the youth. They ain't looking for people like me and Farrakhan. At one point in time, yeah, maybe Farrakhan, he was still young. He was still in his early 30s. But no, most of the people that become leaders or become younger men, because the younger men is the one that attracts the younger generation while the old die out. So they want the younger generation. So they have to take control of the music and manipulate you to do certain things. Go ahead, man. Take that Amali, man. Take that Percocet. Wanna go to a sex party? Yeah, we got coke and all that there. Keep you off balance. And then now you feel like you running with Clive Davis and all these big heads, and you at these important Grammy parties, and you feel like you're part of the crowd. Yeah, take the Percocet, man. Loosen up. Yo, you sure? Yeah, man. All right. Yo, we go back to the studio. I want you to rap that gangster shit. Don't worry, we're gonna cut another check. Oh, I'm blowing up. I know I'm doing my thing. That's how they get us. Y'all all right out there? All right. Prevent violence on the part of Black nationalist groups. This is of a primary importance and is, of course, a goal of our investigative activity. It should also be a goal of the counterintelligence program through troublemakers and troublemakers and neutralize them before they exercise their potential for violence. See, they don't want none of you gangbangers to unify because they got to prevent that type of violence. As long as you're doing it against yourself, you're all right, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to cut the check. They're going to cut the check. Don't worry about it. And I'm saying this, talking to you like this, because that's how they talking to themselves. This is to prevent the violence towards us and keep it amongst themselves. So we don't want you thinking about none of the problems that Trump is causing or the recession that's going on in the society and the terrorists. We don't want you thinking about that, young brother. You think about what you're throwing up and you're thinking about ruling the other gang you got beef with that you ain't gonna never kill. You know why? Because we don't have the combination to destroy ourselves. They try to do it, it can't destroy us. They try to get us to do it, we still can't do it. But we ain't got the combination because God ain't gonna allow it. Look, the last one. Prevent militant Black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting those to three separate segments of the community. The goal of discrediting Black nationalists be handled technically is three ways. You must discredit these groups and individuals too. First, the responsible Negro community. Mm-mm-mm. Second, they must be discredited to the white community. See, so this is why I be talking about when you be gang banging, you ain't going, I don't care how you try to change it, they gonna discredit you. And then you make it worse because you get into music. They control it. So as long as you keep saying what you saying, they looking at you as these Black nationalist groups. Now you done lost, you done been discredited. You have no respectability around the world, only among yourself, and it really don't matter that much because you're not doing nothing with yourselves. You just standing in time. You're not making no time. What do I mean? You know, when you look at the clock and it got that tick, 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 as soon as it moves, it's making time. Once it stops, you stop. You're not making time. That's why you always hear to say, stop wasting time. Stop wasting your life away. When you got time still moving, you ain't doing nothing. Time is moving, but you not. Life is moving, but you not. So this right here, what we doing in hip hop, we not moving nowhere. And those that are moving somewhere, they're so scared to death, they don't want to come back and tell you nothing because they don't want to lose their billionaire status like Jay-Z. I mean, like P. Diddy. Talk back to me. As long as you keep letting the drill rappers do what they do, it's okay. they all want us to have controversy, to kill one another, and while we do it, they make money. They know what the NFL thing was about. Cause Kendrick Lamar has to rehearse. They knew it was going to strike controversy. They knew he could have got sued with it, but they looking at Drake and yeah, yeah, your father, I mean, your mother is white, but I think his father is white, I believe. No, his mother is white, his father's black. They look at him as the original man. Drake ain't white. Look, he's light skinned. He just has a lighter complexion because his seed from his mother is Caucasian. But as long as these two niggas go at it, it's okay. And we cheered them on at the Super Bowl while they ate and got the views. Kendrick didn't get paid for that. See how that go? Oh man, these devils, man. But don't get me wrong, it was a powerful, beautiful message that he made at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But they knew what he was doing. That's why a lot of people, like Jaguar White said, they're coming to get him next. They don't want no type of conscious rapper that can change our mindset. And if he continue on this way, you're gonna hear him caught up in something. Go ahead, caught up in something. All right, I know I had y'all hostage for long enough. So I'm about to now. I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes. See, I got anything I want to talk about, you know? Let me know, let me know. Hey, did you listen to that Tory Lanez album? Thank you, here for the knowledge. Thank you. Did you hear about that Tory Lanez album? Ooh, man. Yo, that album was fire. That album is I like it. I like he is a whole different um it's a whole different type of energy from him. Not yet. I heard it was dope. Yeah, it's on Spotify. Or better yet, you know how you can hear it? Well, I heard it from go to YouTube Music. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta pay no monthly free trials. Just go to YouTube Music and just type up Peterson. You know, Tory Lanez Peterson, it'll come right up and you just listen to it like that. Yo, you know, he got songs for the ladies. You know, he always was the ladies' man with his music. But this album, don't get me wrong, he got some songs for the ladies, but it's more, I won't say more street. It's not street. I won't say that. It's more raw. It's more getting into his pain. Like, he was talking that talk. And I don't know how, he got some good engineers because you can hear him talk. He did it through the phone. He did it through the phone, but his engineers made the music more louder, where it could drown the background of what's going on in in the prison. And it's funny because the last he has more time to focus on himself, and that's why it's so crazy. Because one thing, when you're in prison, you're not getting high as you want to get high. Don't get me wrong, you gonna smoke, you gonna get high. I don't care what jail you in. You gonna get high. Well, CO gonna bring it in, or anybody bring it in. But you're not gonna get high constantly all day, every day, because you always gotta be in the front of the face of the CO. And they see you high, they start taking you for drug tests, you get written up. So you don't get high like that. But you're more focused. You know what I'm saying? You have less distractions. So he's able to get into himself, clean up himself, and then start having his mind in a heightened level because it's no longer being distracted. Now it's pure. It's not being intoxicated, stimulated from no narcotic or alcohol. So now he's flowing and he's getting deep into his spirit. Yo, that pain he put to that pen on that phone, that your the hardest thing he said was one of his intros. I think it's Free Tory. That's the first song. And he was like, he said, first and foremost, I want to give a lot of thank yous. And he was like, I want to thank my fans. This was some powerful shit. He was like, I want to thank my fans. He said, for one, he said, yeah, my family got me through this, but more importantly, y'all definitely got me through it because I read every mail that y'all sent. Because celebrities, they get tons of mails and sometimes they don't read it. They be like, oh, it's too much. He was like, I read every last piece of mail. He said it got me through it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. And when he was saying it so deep It wasn't like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It was like more intense, more deep. He took his time talking, and then he started to cry a little bit. You could hear he was breaking down because what he's saying was true. Like his fans really helped him out to get through a lot of the pain. Not just his fan, like everybody else that was around him, I'm sure. But he was giving his thank yous. And he was like, yo, but more important too, I want to thank Chris Brown. He said, yo, he said, I reached out to all my industry friends. He said, when he got the opportunity to get the new information that he needed to get out of jail, he needed the money for his appeal because he said, yo, being that I'm Canadian, I have no access to my bank accounts in Canada. That's a whole nother country. That's a whole nother country. So it's not like he could just say, yo, yo, wire this over here. It don't go down like that unless it's present. And he's not signing nothing over to his family because I'm assuming no love loss, you know, I'm making money out here. I got millions. We don't know what he got in his bank account in Canada. He's not trusting his family with that access to millions because he need it. Not saying he don't trust his family, but maybe he don't trust his family to the degree to handle his money correctly the way he want to handle. Because sometimes people get millions in their head and they go bonkers. You know what I'm saying? They start justifying the things that they want to do for whoever, themselves, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he said, yo, I hollered at my industry friends, and none of them hit me back. And I was like, damn, he got so many hits, doing so many songs with people. None of them hit him back. He said, none. He said, out of nowhere, Chris Brown hollered at him, dropped $250,000 and said, yo, man, holler at me when you come home. He said, yo, and right there he started to break down and cry. He was like, yo, thanks, Chris. I love you. He said, that's my bro for life. He getting ready to come home now. And I'm assuming that's why he did this. He dropped this album because now while this album is catching butter, right now it's number 1 on the streams. Once he come home, he already got tour songs already. Because I know when he come home, he's going bonkers. This man dropped 20 songs off a phone. I ain't never seen no rapper or singer do that. R. Kelly ain't even doing that. I said, what? And it's fire. Of course, he spoke about Megan and all that, but you gotta hear it. You gotta hear it. You know what I'm saying? Max B too. He had 7 minutes, some months. Yeah, because Max B's on the album. Max was like, yo, shout out to my man Toby. He said, yo, we got some big things to do together. He said, but more than likely, I'll probably be out before you. He said, link me what you got. He said, this is what Max B said. He said, link me when you come out. I got a bag for you. I said, God damn. I said, see, and I believe why I think Chris also did that because Chris was in that same situation. I said my wife that then I said Chris was in that same situation. Remember, he was getting more heat than Tory Lanez. Even though Tory Lanez, they allegedly said he shot Megan, but in the song he was like, I was just trying to save one bitch from another bitch. That's what he said. In other words, it was one female that shot the other female, and they both said I did it because he was both smashing them. So, Chris been in that situation with Rihanna where, there was physical abuse involved. And I wonder if he's still with Rock Nation. Nah, he ain't with Rock Nation no more. To my Tory Lanez, nah, he ain't with. I don't know if Chris Brown is. You know what I'm saying? Rock Nation and all them. They was part of that scandal because Megan Thee Stallion was signed to them, so they weren't trying to lose their money. So of course they orchestrated for Tory Lanez to go down because if it made it look like that Megan Thee Stallion, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't now, he ain't with them no more. That's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? He already put them on blast on the song and all that. Hove and all that. You know what I'm saying? They set him up to take the fall because they felt, I guess, Megan was more of a powerhouse and which she was, she had more of a bigger fan base than Tory. So they assumed that maybe they gonna lose more money letting Megan look stupid in the media and be excuse me and Tory Lanez fall off. So somebody had to go. You know what I'm saying? and they played on Megan with her sympathy through the media. Thought that was gonna go and make her go, start selling and make her status look bigger than what it is, and it didn't. It just destroyed it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knew she was lying. And then on top of that, she came out and dropped something where she was like, "Girl, I had to lie on Gail King show about Tori." She's like, "Girl, I lied." She was like, "I don't know, I can't even remember. I know I fucked that nigga like 2 or 3 times. Remember, she ain't never had sex with Tori." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Wow, man, I tell you, that industry is crazy, but it's fake." Because I heard a rapper say, rappers don't hang out with each other like you think. You may see them at the award shows and take pictures. You see them in magazines, and you think they're all buddy buddy at a club or something. You're like, nah, they don't hang out with each other. Sometimes they wire each other vocals and they do the tracks like that. And I see you when I see you. Rappers don't hang out with each other like that. You know what I'm saying? They may have a circle of certain rappers hang out, but as an industry, they don't hang out like that. I see you when I see you at the war show. Some of them probably ain't see each other in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he be home. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Chris went through that same thing, and they tried to tear Chris down. They was coming at Chris head hard. Once they showed the pictures of Rihanna, they ain't care about no bruises Chris had, and Rihanna whipped his ass. We know he whipped his ass. How Paul Mooney said it. You know how he would know he was because he. You know what I'm saying? He bitter when he started going. Yeah, I see. When you start fighting in person hold, you can't get up. Yeah, that's when you know you losing. Yeah, so what saved Chris though, what saved Chris Brown was his music. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you can't it couldn't hold him back because he had great music. Once you have great music, I don't care what you did. Look at R. Kelly, went through the whole through child molesting thing since God knows when. You know what I'm saying? You know, the music carried him until he went behind bars. So let me get up out of here. Um, Yellow right? So I'ma see y'all another time. Um, I guess I'll be here at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll be here 8 o'clock tonight. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy. Peace.